Okay, shouldn't get interrupted, but every time I say that, I usually do end up getting interrupted. Okay, so library hall as per usual. Let's start with this one. And reading recommendations. I think I said that. I feel like I didn't. I said a comic hall by accident. I wish this was another day. Although not really, because next week is when I'm going anyways, and more books are coming out next week than this week for Newbury Comics comic time for these. And I was a bit disappointed this time because one book that I thought would come in today, because I ordered it, or I solicited it Tuesday, and it said, oh yeah, in transit, so I thought I'd get it today, Thursday. They didn't. And that was one I was looking the most forward to, too. But it didn't end up coming in. Like, really should not have got my hopes up. Oh yeah, where's the one that's not on here? It is. You'll see a certain theme for a lot of these. Making sure. First one up actually is the one I have keep taking out and we never end up watching. The first time we just forgot. No, the first time they were just out all weekend. That's right too. That was they'd gone out Friday to the monster truck rally. I don't know where my parents went. No, sorry, that was Saturday. Saturday was monster trucks. Wow, I'm getting my weekends mixed up. That's how long it's been. Or how long it's felt. Yeah, and they went to a friend's house. I wouldn't have passed that up because I had a house myself for a good amount of time. But Iron Giant, third time. I hope third time's the charm. I'm making this more God, what's the word? Like more like gotta watch it right now. I don't care, than Ratatouille. I do like Ratatouille, obviously, but I want to watch this a lot more, especially because this has added scenes. This is the extended cut, if you will. I had to get the Blu-ray copy. I like when they would always deleted scenes with this guy too. Plus all DVD features, eh? It's just a DVD. What the hell? It is a DVD. What the what? What the hell? Doesn't feel like a DVD. They say it's Blu-ray, but you open it and it's a DVD. What is was it mixed up? Did someone get mixed up? That is funny. Okay. And now, well, the three of the same character, and I'll tell you, for a second there, I was like, wait, what did they do? But no, false alarm there. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, Volume 2 and Volume 3, and Batgirl, Volume 3. I know, 2 rebirth series with the same character. Not like Batman, where Batman's a detective comics for one of them, and the other one is Batman. Although I guess it's easier to tell the difference between. But if you don't see Birds of Prey right away, and you're rushing, you might accidentally pick this up and think it's Batgirl. I much prefer this. I'll talk more about it in my reading recommendations. But I much prefer the Birds of Prey series than her solo series. And then I kind of got into this character. I was reading a one-shot of her, and it still had a lot of the same problems that she's had over the years, but it wasn't as bad for me. And this is by a totally different author, but this is Captain Marvel in Pursuit of Flight. This is the Kelly Sue DeConnick series, 2012 one, for those of you who are keeping count, because she is such an unpopular character that she keeps getting reboots. I didn't hate most of the series. I like the 2014 series. Man, it was a lot slimmer than they thought it would, so to speak. Okay. Movie, The Heat. This is like with the Millers. This is one, not really like with the Millers. It was one that I could have watched all in one sitting. Not all in one sitting. I could have watched back in 2013. That's when this one came out too. Same year actually. But I had no attention span back then, like at all. Ooh, I hope this is the unrated one because they have one taken out. And I think this is a DVD or it's like a digital copy one. Yeah. They used to make you take the DVD out, put it in the DVD player, and then go to a link on there, and then put in a digital code. I'll bet you no one did that unless they had to. It's like 8 different steps that you don't need to take. As I was saying, I don't know if I finished my thought, my train of thought. I don't know if I finished what I was trying to say, but I had no attention span back then, so I was like, I'm gonna go play some Xbox, man. I don't want to watch this anymore. And I just never ended up watching it after that. Like with Where the Millers, and I'll explain. Like with Where the Millers, and I'll explain this more when I talk about it. It was just like I just never was in the thought process, I guess you could say. Like I always just kind of in the back of my mind for all the movies I wanted to watch. There's still a bunch of them I haven't seen yet. I could just list it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Wanted. You will see your Volume 1 review. Same with this one, Earth 2 Volume 2. Captain America Volume 3 Loose Nuke. You will not see a review for Volume 2. I took a little bit of a break because I wanted to read the Marvel Knight series before. And then there's another Volume 2. All these were different. All three of these actually are just series I read Volume 2 of Volume 1 of last week, except for Captain America, which I just had already known. But it's a little bit of a. I think because they're all. Oh my God, they're all. How am I gonna do that? All but one of them are. I think one or two of them are longer than 7 issues. I think one of the Batgirls is a bit longer than the previous volume. But most of these are like 5-6 issues. It'll take me until like Tuesday to finish. Should be good, I guess. So, but I need to kind of return a lot of books. I have a lot taken out right now. I still haven't finished some that I had from last week, or Thursday rather. Thanos by Jeff Lemire, Volumes 1 and 2. I didn't hate the first issue, but I wasn't totally on board. It wasn't the best of Jeff Lemire's. Definitely not the best of Jeff Lemire. But that's only because Jeff Lemire is just I keep changing how I pronounce his last name. But Jeff Lemire is, cannot be beat. Like, his writing is, I'm jealous of how good his writing is. He's able to, he never has any slow parts. And when he does, it's for a reason. You don't care. He's just such a damn good writer. And when he, his mediocre books do not amount to how good some people can get. You know what I'm saying? What he brings in that's mediocre, some people wish they could write that good, and that's not even the best that Jeff Lemire can write. This is how I felt about his Thanos run, but I wanted to play catch up to when I'm gonna finally read that Donny Cates Thanos run. So I had to get these two. And then finally, I feel like it was a lot more, and I don't know why. Suicide Squad Rogues. It feels a lot thicker, and a different paper quality too. It's like the paper that they use. It's like the paper that they use the Vertigo books, like Hellblazer and what have you. It's the same everything though. Oh, look at the full thing though. Usually they can get a full thing. They had the full page spread of the issue number and everything like that. They'd have it cut off right here. But yeah, it's the same feel, the same paper that they use for the Hellblazer use the same paper. Their Vertigo books. I didn't finish that thought. So what is this one like? I wonder if this is a lot more than usual. 1725, the first annual. I think it's because of the paper quality that they use. Because Marvel, you can see this is a volume, perfect way to. Perfect way to compare the two. But this is I'll give an example. This is I want to say they're both 6 issues or around that, and they look super different. This one looks like it collects 3 issues, and this one looks like it collects 6, and they look totally different from one another. I'm not complaining or anything like that. It's just something I've always noticed. I mean, you're able to fit more Marvel volumes than DC volumes that way, I'm sure, but. It's always kind of weird they did that. And they think Marvel charges you more for some of them. Yeah, one of the Thanoses are both. Yeah, both the Thanoses are $17.99, and the DC ones are $16.99. And Marvel keeps changing them. DC at least is always $16.99, whether or not it's 4 issues or 7. I think for the most part, for their rebirths, their new 52s, they've never changed it. And Marvel, it's nope, $17.99 for this one, and $15.99 for this one. And you're like, but both are 5 issues. Don't care. We're Marvel. Fuck you. It's so annoying. at least like have a consistent price. That's why whenever I see a $15.99 volume, like I got the Ant-Man one that was $15.99, I'm always super surprised. And that's what it used to be. It was perfect. That Deadpool series, the whole entire series except for one volume, they're all $15.99. You got a bunch of issues in some. One of them was the entire issue, and it was 80 pages. Actually, I think it was like 100. No, wasn't it? It was not 100. No, it was 80. It's a lot of pages in May, is my point. Okay. Now let's do reading recommendations. Again, I don't really care. I don't usually buy the Marvel volumes. The Marvel books I usually buy are like complete collections or whatever. I'm getting a lot of like DC, and it's not like I'm not trying to say anything with that. It's just what I bought. Just kind of the way that just the way that cookie crumbles with me. Okay. Oh, I was on the wrong list. So it's like, wait a minute, I didn't return that today. First one up is back. I had it up. I had it up. Like the books I was reading, I had them up, and I was like, no, that's a different list, not this list. And I had it up the whole time. That's all I had to say. All right, so Batgirl, the Birds of Prey one, I did like a lot more than the solo series. There were still the same problems I had with the Batgirl series, but it was story first, politics after, and there was a little bit of like that kind of like that kind of politics of like, oh, all the women are better than the men, and the women have no flaws. There's a little bit of that, but I'm very happy with what they did with one of the villains. They didn't make him into a sympathetic villain, in that the character was like, oh, I sympathize with you. No, the character's like, fuck you, you fucked up, I hate you. Like, didn't even like have that like smolchy moment where like smolchy is the word. That smolchy moment where they're heart to heart. No, she's like, you messed up and I'm gone. Screw you. You know, she left. Without getting too much away, I guess it's a big twist. But all in all, I like that series. I'm very, very lenient with how I feel about the books that kind of like our SJW books. Some of them, like that Motor Crush one, I had no problem ripping that apart. That was terrible. I had almost no good things to say about that series. The artwork made everything so much worse. So much worse with Motor Crush. I'm so glad it was only 2 volumes. I'm also so glad that I decided to say the hell with it and read both volumes. And then didn't like take a break or anything like that. I just powered through it, finished it, and never had to read it again. I don't give a shit if Volume 3 comes out. I don't think it will. I think it got canceled because even Image Comics was like, yeah, get this shit out of my face. And usually Image is very lenient as well. Because they're like, okay, you know what? You may have an audience for that. Let's let that slide. That's why you got like Youngblood back in the day, and you get a lot of the books you get nowadays from Image. But a lot of them that are really, really, really bad are miniseries. But I think there was one that was there's that home book that only had 5 issues. But I think it was the author's choice, not the higher up's choice. I could be wrong about that. I think it was always meant to be a miniseries because it was always one of 5. It didn't get canceled or anything like that. Could be wrong, but from what I remember seeing, it was a miniseries. Anyways, getting sidetracked. We're the Millers. A pretty funny movie. I'm really surprised it took me this long to watch it, and I'm really glad I did. It was funny. It was 2 hours. Well, it was an hour and 58 minutes that I saw the unrated cut. But basically, a 2-hour movie did not feel like that. It felt like an hour and a half movie. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I looked up some of the quotes beforehand. Well, I was cycling through the IMDb page, and I saw it. They cornered my eye, and it's that where that work you're getting paid. That's where that meme comes from. It's We're the Millers. And I was very pleasantly surprised to find that out. Sure. Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So you know how I said Volume 1 wasn't that bad? It didn't hit it wasn't very controversial, and wasn't hitting all those bad points of Tom Taylor's writing. Volume 2 makes up for that by hitting all the buttons. This is terrible. It's just like politics before a book. You're like, this is how I feel. It's like, and the funniest thing is that Tom Taylor hates Trump, but he lives in Australia, so he doesn't have to. If he shuts off his computer and doesn't look up like what Trump is doing, he'd be none the wiser. So why does he care so much? He cares so much that he attacks Trump a bunch of times in his Spider-Man book. Nobody cares about anyone's opinions, political opinions. I don't care. If you like this guy or don't like this guy, I don't care. I don't care who you vote for or who or anything like that. I don't care. I really don't. You don't have to mention that to me. No one likes that. Like, almost nobody likes that. Except for the people, like the weirdos on Twitter that are like, yeah, stick to the man. Even though they, you know. Let's say about that the better. But anyways, and what was the other thing they hate about it? That the dialogue was terrible. The jokes, some of them were awful. Like, one in particular, I almost just, like, completely stopped reading the book after that. I was like, why am I reading this? It was a slog to get through. It was boring. It wasn't interesting. It was boring. Completely uninteresting. That's how bad it was, how boring it was. I had to say it twice. But I got through it. Like, it was only, like, boring when they have too much dialogue, where they focus on one thing for too long. I powered through it, and I'm so glad I don't have to read that ever again. But yeah, what was... Oh, and then they crowdfunded... Well, actually, I think I already knew... No, he did not. He did not. And they mock crowdfunding, because Tom Taylor's pissed that people are leaving him, because he's not a real... Because he attacks them on Twitter, and he's mad that they're leaving because he attacks them. And the customers are leaving these asshole people that are just attacking everyone on Twitter, all their fans, and they're going to people who treat them nicely, like your boy Zach. He treats everyone nicely, and he gets rewarded for it. He's made so much money, and all the power to that guy. All the power to your boy Zach, because he's someone that actually cares and is getting rewarded for it. And then everyone else at Marvel and DC are having to eat cat food because they say, screw you to fans. Like, you wonder why no one's reading Marvel and DC books anymore. Except for me, and of course a few other people. It's because everyone's attacking the fans. Not everyone. I'm saying everyone, just like as the usual suspects. I don't even know who the usual suspects are. I know Dan Slott's big meanie. And that's kind of funny because I hate his writing. I didn't like his Spider-Man book. It was a big time one. That's considered to be one of the ones that everyone likes, and I hated it. Couldn't even get past issue 1. Guardians of the Galaxy, good follow-up to the 2012 series, 2012-2013 series. Why do I feel like I've talked about that series already? I didn't. Sex Criminals. So sad to see the series go. It was such a damn good series. I didn't like the alternate ending. Technically, there's an alternate ending, because they go from issue, I think it was like 30 to 69. Like, haha, get it. They couldn't make that joke. They could not make that joke. There's no way they wouldn't have made that joke. But then the issue 69 is kind of like an alternate ending. It's not technically, but that's how I would like to look at it, because the alternate ending sucks. I hate it. It's terrible. Issue 30 ends perfectly. And I think they had, like, an additional issue. They're like, okay, let's just do this. Do an experiment. And I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna consider that canon, though. But other than that, it was such a damn good series. I highly recommend you guys check that out. But just don't read it don't read it to anybody. It's anybody. Not even your friends. It is so, like, messed up. It's definitely not, definitely an adult book. But not like adult. It's not actual porn. It's an actual story to it. But there is like a lot of explicit. There's a lot of explicit dialogue and images. I don't know how they get it as image. I don't know how they make that into a TV show. They'd have to keep it animated so it doesn't get blocks everywhere. Suicide Squad Volume 2. I got Volume 3. It was much better than Volume 1. The only one I didn't like was only because I was expecting it to be a lot shorter than it was. Because a lot of the Suicide Squad issues were very fast-paced. You could read one issue in like 10 minutes. Well, I could, rather. And it only takes me about 20 minutes on average, and Suicide Squad was taking me 10 minutes on average. So when you hit like a slower issue, it was like, oh, okay. Grinding to a halt. I see now. But hopefully that's not how, because they have a Justice League International, not tie-in, I guess you could say. They have a tie-in to it. It's like a two-parter. One's on Suicide Squad, the other is just crossover. Crossover is the word I'm looking for. The crossover with Justice League International. So you get a Suicide Squad book on one hand, and the other hand you get a JLI Justice League International book. And I hope that, because it was a lot slower than I thought that International would be. And I hope it's not that slow for the entire series. It's about the fall. So, yeah, it was just that one issue. Other than that, Suicide Squad was a fast-paced and fun book. And it's surprising how fast-paced it was, because it was the 80s. And they were just starting to get out of, like, feeling the need to make the dialogue a lot more wordy than they needed to be. And they had to explain what was going on in the panels. The pictures speak for themselves. Just getting out of that. It was the late 80s, too. That's honestly when, everyone started, when Newman Condition started reading his DC. It's where he started DC. And point made. That's the reason why, because that's when DC started getting really damn good. I know it was good before then, obviously, but that's when DC like hit the milestone. They struck gold. The Batman Rules of Engagement. So this one, it's a Batman Confidential. Yeah, Confidential. And this is Volume 2, The Lovers and Madmen. It was a very, very slow start, but at the end, it was like such an explosive finish. I was like, let's go. Oh, it's not. It's a different guy. It's not. What's his face anymore? What's his name? Andy Diggle. But the first few issues were very, very slow, and I was like, Then it started picking up. I was like, yay! Yeah, when it started picking up, it was a lot better. I feel like I'm stuttering a lot. Yeah. And the last one was Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 1. If there had not been 2 volumes of this series, I probably would have dropped the series. It was pretty slow, pretty boring. Stuff happened, but it was kind of like, I don't know. It was, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, I'm just making sure this is Hasbro first. Yeah, it would. Oh no, it was DVD and digital copy that they didn't include. I don't know when they would do that though. There was actually one I have that is from Paris with Love, which is an unrated movie, very unrated movie. That makes sense. No, a very underrated movie. From Paris with Love. I think it's a remake, so it's possible the original is a lot better. But the DVD copy is only there, so it gives you a link to where to download the digital copy, which you needed a code for. I didn't have the code because it was a used DVD, so there was no point to get that DVD copy from the Blu-ray. Thank God I don't buy Blu-rays just for DVD copy. I don't. I used to kind of do that. Because when it comes with a DVD, I just watch the DVD because I have had more DVD players than Blu-ray players, portable. You could count on me always having a portable DVD player on a trip away, or having movies rather. I went quite around with my 7-inch DVD player. We can watch SpongeBob with the volume way down, because half of them don't even get that loud. You have to wear headphones for some of them, unless you want to hear nothing. I just want to hear the hum of the DVD player. Sometimes the hum was louder than that hum was louder than the actual DVD player would be. Like, you'd have to really turn that up. One of them I had was terrible. That was like that one I still do have actually. A lot of them I have still work pretty good. So if you want a DVD player, I can mail it to you and it'll come in bad condition. Because no way would I be able to package it up right. Maybe I would be able to, but I'd probably forget. Just put that bubble wrap was shaken up like as it's being delivered in trucks and the plane, whatever, wherever it would go. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So I did not do this last week, but let's go through them all and give the out of 10 score. Batgirl I give like a 7 out of 10. We're the Millers, same score, 7 out of 10. Spider-Man 1 out of 10. It was awful. Guardians of the Galaxy I gave like an 8 out of 10. Sex Criminals a 9.5 out of 10. Suicide Squad, 8.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 9. Batman, I give like a 7.5 out of 10. And Green Lantern, I give like a 6.5. So, smaller stack of books. I mean, just because, not that I won't have a hard time finishing them, but just like they're like shorter books. Because last week I got a lot of like, I feel like I got like a lot more like thicker trades than I did these smaller books. And this one has a lot more than the others. This one is $19.99 actually. It's a lot thicker, so never mind then. I mean, they both have their 14 to 22. It's no way I'm finishing all this one in 1 week. No way. It's almost 14 issues, right? 10 issues? No, it's like 8 issues. Maybe. Yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. Yeah, 8 issues. Maybe I would be able to. Just feels like I won't be able to. You know, it feels a lot thicker. I wonder if the last issue was as like a double issue, so I could tie up all loose ends. So I heard that series got canceled. Like, not that it got like not that the author was done with not that the writer was done with her series. No, it just got canceled, which is kind of sad because the solo series got canceled way after, I believe, unless Batgirl and Birds of Prey, which I don't think it did, because the reading order would not be right. Going by the reading order, I think they came out around the same time. I think all the books came out around the same time. Yeah. Oh, and one thing I do have to add. For Batgirl and Birds of Prey, you can read the Batgirl series, the entire Batgirl Rebirth series, and the ones that weren't Rebirth, without having to read Batgirl and Birds of Prey, and vice versa for now. The reading order that Nearman Condition did, which would have you think differently if you weren't paying, not that if you weren't paying attention, but he kind of like, he said it, he didn't like say exactly where, like if any of them crossed over with one another. So he kind of, not that he's trying to sway you a different way, no. It's just, if you're not, like, if you don't know what he's talking about, I guess. It's very hard to explain. But basically what I'm trying to say is you don't have to read that after Batgirl Volume 1. Like I thought I did. I'm glad I did read Batgirl and Birds of Prey, because I was a lot better. Alright. Stuttering time is, 26 minutes. Alright, that's it.